All right, this is Taboo Talk. This is Lord Vale.
This
This
is
is
Matt.
Ghost.
Yeah, they didn't hear y'all fellas say it again.
Yeah, this is Ghost.
And yeah, this is Malcolm King, man. Make sure y'all follow the Instagram page, Justice League Taboo Talk.
All right. Thanks for promoting us. I almost forgot. All right. Well, tonight's podcast is going to be exposing the lies and the truths in the new Spike Lee joint, The Blackkklansman. Cause recently, this movie has been doing very well, and people think that the majority of this movie is true. Well, after tonight, you're gonna have a different perspective, a different outlook on this movie. Cause I actually read the book, as my co-hosts already know, and we're just gonna be showing how it's different and how it's similar comparing the book and the movie. All right. Now, if you haven't seen this movie yet, here's just a quick synopsis of it. It's set in the 1970s in Colorado Springs. The plot follows the first African American detective in the Colorado Springs Police Department who sets out to infiltrate and expose the local chapter of the Ku Klux Klan. All right, fellas. Y'all ready?
Let's get it. Let's get it.
All right, all right. Now, there was a part in the movie, right, where he infiltrates or he goes and tries to observe the Stokely Carmichael speech. Now, in the movie, it shows him meeting a lady named Patrice, who is this black lady who's over the Black Student Union in Colorado Springs.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, come to find out, when you read the book, that character never existed. And what really happened is that he bought him a ticket. First of all, they wired him up so that the police officers could listen in on what Mr. Kwame Ture was saying. And also what the audience was saying, how they were reacting to Kwame Ture's speech. Um, but the only woman that he did talk to, which was very comical, was a German white woman. And
Wow. Wow. That's crazy.
a German white woman. And he was like, he was saying how beautiful she was and how she was flirting with him. Um, Now, Malcolm Key, how you feel about that? Because I know
Now,
you got a perspective on that.
now, I was gonna ask you, can you read like a little bit of how he described, how he said, like what he said about her in that book?
Ooh.
Because that right there is a funny thing, how he met a white woman inside of a black rally in reality, but they want to switch it up to a black woman because they know they would put a white woman in that movie and want to sing it right for the audience. That's all I'm saying. Right there. That's all I'm saying.
You saying that pretty much uh the show Black Look, he knew that black people would see this movie, well, will read this book first.
Nah,
But
no, no, he knew.
go ahead.
He
Go ahead.
Spike Lee knew that black people would see the movie first and automatically assume that what happened instead of reading the book because a lot of people don't read books. A lot of people weren't
You
gonna
right.
read about this.
That's true. I think me and others, it was only a small percentage of people who actually took the time out to read the book. Because I knew it was something about this damn movie that didn't make any sense. You know what I mean? It was the same thing that it was just like, this is too good to be true. So, hold on, I'm looking for it now because I'm glad you said it. I should have had it already pulled up.
No, no,
Um,
you good, but it just shows that they didn't, they want to, they kind of change our perspective. You know, what I mean, it ain't nothing wrong with black love. You see what I'm saying? But if that what happened in real life, why you didn't put it in there? Why you ashamed of it? You see what I'm saying? Like you can tell something going on that they trying to portray on there, which we will get
uh-huh.
into later on in the podcast.
I do remember him saying though, while I'm looking for it, that she that he was dating somebody already at that time. That's why he didn't pursue the white German lady.
Mm.
Even though I don't. Yeah, I think they probably did, so he just don't want to say it.
Well, a lot of people lie. This is his truth. So whatever he felt like happened in his life and how he did it, he can leave stuff out. He probably did went into the white woman and talked to her and they probably stuck around. Cause how you were talking, how she was describing, and that's why want you to read it because how they how he was describing her in that book, it didn't seem like to me that you want to have sex with that type of woman. That's all I'm saying. Like I just couldn't, you know what I mean?
No. Go ahead.
You know, I said especially he wasn't even married to. Was he? I don't think he was married to the woman he was so called dating. So since they ain't married, I don't know. I just feel like he probably slept with that woman, but just didn't want to put that
See,
in his book.
they didn't want to put it in the movies. What you mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm almost there. I'm almost there. I'm almost there, player. I'm almost there. But yeah, you're right about that. Um, but the fact that he even, you know, would even do this is just crazy to me. You know what I mean? Because like
Mm-hmm.
in the way he was writing, he was trying to make it seem like he was down for black folks. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I did this for y'all. You know what I mean? But at the same time, you infiltrating a black organization.
And that's the crazy part. It's like okay, so you snitching on us, but you down with us. I'm confused. you can't you can't you can't just be like yeah I'm here for for us as the people, and then all of you telling the white man, hey man, they this going on and this going on, y'all better be careful. Or, they trying to do this, trying to do that. See, it's a lot of plot. It's a lot of a lot of holes in it. And they were confused about me. Like I just feel like he'd probably just be a natural spy because you just can't sit there and say, oh, okay. On one hand, I infiltrated the Black Panthers. That's been positive to our organization and been positive to the the black community and want to help people. You feel what I'm saying? And
Uh-huh.
then you go from there to okay, now I'm gonna infiltrate the Ku Klux Klan because you felt bad that you infiltrated the Black Panthers. So you're like, well, let me try the Ku Klux Klan and see what happens. If that's what it was, because you can't tell me you can't feel bad for how you spying on your own people. I don't know, man. That just right there just blow my mind just thinking about it.
All right. Here, I found it. Okay, so, so this what he said right here. You ready? So he said, her conversation was flirtatious in nature and put me in a slightly awkward position because I had just started to date the woman who 5 years later would become my wife. Although we were not yet in any committed relationship, I knew in my heart, though, I hadn't told her yet. I wanted to pursue the relationship as far as it and she would allow. In spite of this, the dog in me, all men have a little dog in them where women are concerned. Hold up. And then he goes on to say that she was a beautiful lady and, he pretty much said he got away from
Okay. Now y'all heard that little 2-3 sentences he said, right? The
her.
dog is on. Now a man, if a woman knows, like he said, all men got a little dog in him. That sounds like he slept with.
Uh-huh.
And listening to it, he mentioned in there that they just started dating. It was a new relationship. It wasn't like they've been together for a long time, so he felt obligated to, what I mean, I ain't gonna cheat on her. I think he slept with her. And how he described her, it sounded like he described her more better than he described the woman he with. Did he even describe the woman he was with? Did he even say how smart she was or how beautiful she was?
he never mentioned this. He never mentioned this woman once in the book.
Okay. Okay. Hey, that's his life though.
That's telling though. All
Yeah.
right, let's move on. Go ahead. Go ahead. If you got something else to say.
Go ahead, move on to it. That's all I got to say. I ain't got to say no
All
more.
right. So, you know, let's get on this. Let's see, where is it at? So the truth in the movie is that he did speak to David Duke on the phone and tricked him into believing that he was a so-called white man. You know what I mean? He did that happen.
Mm-hmm.
Um, now what didn't happen though in the movie, they show what was his name? They show his partner, whose name is Chuck, who goes in, who's supposed to be this Jewish guy that is putting his life on the line and supposed to be the hero of the one of the heroes of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But in the book, there is no mention of no Jewish officer putting his life on the line at all. That character was made up by the two Jewish writers that were a part of this movie that added that character in just so certain people can relate to that or feel, in my opinion, feel sympathy for the Jews. Now, the directors did a interview with a magazine and they actually exposed this in the magazine, but if you don't do research, you won't find this out. Now, the two guys that were the Jews I'm speaking about, their name are Charlie and David. I can't pronounce the two Jewish names. I will leave a description. I will leave a link in the description box after this podcast, so you can go and look it up for yourself. Now, the one named David, who was getting interviewed, said, "I also think a major turning point was when we decided to make Ron's partner Jewish." The filmmaker who was interviewing them, which is the name of the magazine, yeah, could you talk about that? That's part of a lot of my curiosity. The other guy, the other Jew responded, I think it's just a practical decision. If you're going to be living with this character who is going to infiltrate the Klan, you might as well make the stakes higher by giving him some sort of personal attachment. It's already high stakes that he's going undercover. Making him Jewish just makes it much more better. On top of that, we're both Jewish. Oh, like we didn't know. So it just makes sense writing something a little bit more from our perspectives.
Mm.
It was our way into the story. Now, what do y'all think about that? And Rudy, you can chime in on that too.
Now, my thing is this right here. This is my thing right here. This is Malcolm King speak. Now,
Go ahead, Malcolm.
now, if this movie
Y'all be
supposed to
tripping with the
be,
names. I'm just saying.
if this movie supposed to be uh, based off a true story, how you adding fictional characters? You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like if if this movie's supposed to, you know, this movie's supposed to be part of our history. You know what I mean? This would really happen. Why would you put in another, you know what I mean? Okay, so now, instead of him being a white man like he's supposed to be, it's a Jewish white man. Why, you
Mhm.
see what I'm saying? Like, that's stuff crazy to me. So you telling me that, all right, so when it comes down to this, you might well be playing Superman where everything is fake. You just putting stuff together. You see what I'm saying? They got more respect for Marvel and DC history or how they doing things in the film instead of doing actual real history.
Mhm.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you can't sit there and just put people oh, I'm just gonna put it like this, then we gonna anytime you infiltrate a group, period, you putting your life on the line. If he was a regular white cop who don't believe in that KK, so he putting his life on the line just doing it regularly. So why is he got to be a Jew? You see what I'm saying? That's just
Exactly.
crazy.
Because if they would have found, even if he was just a regular white man, if they would have found out that he was a cop infiltrating, they would have done something to him. He would have came up missing. So I think I mean, that whole thing was just to get, so that black folks would look at this movie and be like, damn, the Jews got our back. You know what I mean? Like they want to, so they can show that, but like they've always had your back. We in the same struggle that you are in. We minorities. I hate when they do that. They always want to punch all us in as minorities and we down, even though they don't. Even though the minorities don't even mess with us like that. But hey, that's gonna connect in a little bit to why I said that. Now, in the movie, it shows when he first get into the police station and his time there. It shows him getting harassed by other officers. It shows people knocking papers out his hands, um, referring to him as derogatory names. Now, from reading the book, he never mentions anybody named Andy, who was the main officer who pretty much
Harassment.
harassed him. Yes. Now, there was only one altercation he had with somebody. Well, two altercations. But the one that was probably more paramount is the one what he had with this guy that he was working with in records named John. And the only thing that John said, because they were talking about women. You know how men get around, somehow the conversation of women come up and, as far as like women that's beautiful, that's famous. So this is what John said to him. I don't see how you people define beauty in a woman. And that was, the only thing that he really experienced as far as being in that police station of somebody doing some type of saying something to him or, something that made him feel some type of way. The only time that he had another confrontation was when he was going into this, trying to get this investigation started, and he went over his lieutenant and went to the sergeant. His lieutenant, Anthony, which is his name, got mad at him, so they had a little beef. But it had nothing to do with him being black. It had something to do with him going over his head. That was the confrontation. But that's the only two confrontations that he mentions in this damn book about him going through some issues while being in that police station.
Man,
Ain't that a bitch?
Hollywood just some race hustlers, boys. They're gonna get your money off this racist stuff. I'll read one of your comments on Facebook, Lord Vale, and it's this white girl. She said she loved the movie. I know she do love the movie. They love that racist stuff, but it's not what you seen though. You see what I'm saying? Because I ain't gonna lie. I was listening to an interview with David Duke and Tommy Minor, whatever his name.
Tommy Sotomayor. Yeah, go ahead.
There you go. Yeah, I ain't mean to mess up his name. All right, but when I listened to him, basically what he was saying is he just don't want to mix his bloodline with black folks. He just want to just, it ain't mean that he racist. He ain't like black folks. He was just like he just wanted, he want his kids to look like him and look like his granddad and look like his grandma and them. And I can see that. You know what I mean? I can see that. I can see why you don't want to mix in like that if that's the case. You see what I'm saying? But I don't know, man. I just feel like Hollywood pushing this race issue way too much, and we as the people are feeding into it.
Exactly.
I'm not saying that he haven't not experienced racism or any type of that why he lives in Colorado, but he probably didn't.
Hello. What the?
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Hold on. Hold on.
You trying to say something, Ghost?
Who? No, you try. Oh man, he just messed up the whole podcast.
This Bishop. What's going on, Bishop?
Bishop Blackwell, what's up? What's going on?
Man, nah, cuz you done got in the middle of the podcast.
Oh, I did, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, we got on this Blackkklansman. Okay. Hey, we got Bishop on here.
You
All
should have,
right.
you should have texted me that I was jumping in the podcast.
Hey, I ain't know you were hopping on in there so quick, but you can, hey,
You know the bishop got to hustle, man. I got to get these tides out here. While you playing game?
this man out here crazy. Okay, cool. Hey, Bishop, man, have you seen the Blackkklansman movie?
Black Panther.
Nah, not Black Panther, man. Nah, that's a whole thing for this stuff. Oh
Black
man, I can't talk
Klansman,
about
man.
Black
Black
Panther.
Klansman.
Klansman. Yes, I did. I saw it. Yeah.
Okay.
We got some.
Okay, that's gonna make. Okay, all right. So this is what we doing. We exposing the lie and the truth that was in that movie right now. So
Okay.
so you can give your input, but just let me finish going over what we're going over. Then you can give your input on it. All right.
Oh, do your thing, man. Do your thing.
Hey, Lorville.
Go ahead.
Now, how much of this movie is true and how much of it is false? If you were doing your calculation of the truth and your perception of this movie.
Based off from what I've read, from the research I've done, I changed my mind on the percent that I initially gave you offline. I would give it an 85 of it. I would give it an 85 of it being incorrect and the rest of it being correct.
Wow. So this movie supposed to be based off a true story, and you feel like 85% of that movie is false?
Yes.
Nigga, they should have just not well made it. They should say this movie has been inspired. They should have said that. You can't sit there and say this is based off a true story and 85% of the information is false.
All right. So let me tell you why I said that and why that number is. Let me tell you why that number is so high. Let me give you another example. All right, everybody listen in on this. So y'all remember Felix, the radical, the radical guy that was dating the little fat chick, you know. Now, what's so interesting though, that character also never existed in the book. He was just another made up character. Now, do y'all remember when the Blackkklansman he calls up? Well, after he submits his his number and he mails that in to the local organizer, he gets a call and Walter, who is really Ken, that's another thing, but that's with the name change, calls him up and tells him to meet him at pretty much a parking lot. Well, at a certain bar. Now, in the movie, they show him meeting up with Felix, and they jump in the car, and they see that the Blackkklansman is telling him, that he sees him, that he's driving behind him. That he never saw them. That never happened. So for them to lie about that little bitty scene of him telling him or following him from the back, I mean, come on. Come on now. He never saw him. He never picked up any gun talking about I'm gonna kill this motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like, oh well, nigga. They didn't say motherfucker, they said nigga. He never said that. He never did none of that. That never happened. He never saw him behind.
And you gotta realize it wasn't one person that went and infiltrated, it was two.
It was three, actually, but we get to that later.
Oh, okay.
It was three actually that infiltrated. I'm talking about like as far as physically.
That's what I was talking
about. If you're including Ron Starworth, then that's four. All right. But we get to that. That's a whole. I'm like Pusha T said, I'm gonna take this layer by layer. All right. So moving on. All right. Now, the thing that I didn't like about this movie is when they made it seem like the KKK was the only group that was a white supremacy, or like I like to call them, a white inferiority group that was in this movie. Another thing they portrayed was the Black Student Union of Colorado Springs, that if they were a part of demonstrations against the Klan. Now let me tell you what really happened. And I'm gonna read a quote in a little bit because I have it on the phone. What really happened though, the KKK and another group called the Posse Comitatus. Those were the two on the right, or the two radical white supremacy groups. But on the left, your leftists, the Black Student Union group did not participate in any demonstrations against them, according to the book, because they feel like it was a waste of time. Now, the groups that did win against them, I got a whole list, and these were white groups, white leftist groups. You have INCAR, the International Committee Against Racism. You have PIP, Progressive Labor Party. You have La Raza. You have the PRB, the People for the Betterment of People. You have the ARC, the Anti-Racist Coalition. Those were your groups that went against the Klansmen and the Posse Comitatus.
So basically, what you're saying is a white on white crime going on here.
So, this was Charlottesville before Charlottesville.
Ooh.
So when they show you in the movie of the black people going at the Klan, or you got the Klan going at the Black Student Union, which didn't make no sense at all, but we'll get to the end part later on. They're just trying to keep, once, like we said in the beginning, this white and black narrative going on. That's what it is.
Them boy,
Now, y'all can,
that boy Spike Lee shooting dice with his racism stuff, boy. You know he gonna hit a 7 every time. Lie. That boy had he out here.
Do I have the floor now?
Y'all go ahead, Bishop. My bad, Bishop.
go ahead. Mm-hmm.
From what are you showing me, man? Spike Lee is trying to incite racial tension in this country. Or he is the puppet behind the group that's trying to incite racial tension in this country. Because I haven't heard of such a lie being perfectly sewn and drawn together like this movie. I mean, this is just an atrocity to be making such a made-up story. You could say this is a fictional story.
And Bishop, and our people, black and white people, they real deal think all this happened. Like, if they didn't do no research, they said, yeah, this is based on the true story.
Hey, I thought it was real, man. You know, I ain't gonna lie, cause look, this is the first time I ever heard of some Ron Stallworth and the Klan in Colorado. Hell, I didn't know that was Klan in Colorado. I thought it was all, I didn't think them niggas would go out that far. Ain't no niggas out there. Barely is, so I mean, I didn't know that. You know, history, our school system is failing. They are not teaching us the real history of this country. Just what they want us to hear. It's like TV programming. That's what the school system is, man. But that's off topic. But yeah, the Klansman, man, that's a sham. By your research, that is a good ass fairy tale.
Don't get me wrong. The movie hard. I ain't gonna lie to you. It'll make you be like, ooh, that's so hard. You got this super nigga. You got this super nigga named Ron Stallworth. He whooping ass. He just throwing bricks in people's windows and he just yeah.
Saving folks from explosions.
This is a super nigga. This is a super nigga.
Oh, his shootout.
Yeah. I'm like, damn, where you find this super nigga? I'm like, is this Shaft?
Back in the hoes.
he got the fine light. He got the fine mulatto. Well, in real life, the actress is a mulatto, but he got the fine light skin chick, the little red bone.
That
I
little
mean,
red bone,
damn.
he had it all, man.
Hey, but look
I,
though, at the end of the movie, he still is a simp because she said, "I can't be with no nigga like you."
Yep.
After he did all that, he still was a simp ass nigga. Like she told him that you gonna be a police. I can't be with a nigga like you. That's basically what she said.
I remember that. I
Yep.
remember that.
She said, "Are you a pig? Look, are you a pig?" God,
Wow, yeah. This is. But you know what though? I'm gonna bring that up now. Then we can get back to exposing this movie. This ain't the first time Spike Lee has done this. That's the thing. See, your boy, you know, your little cricket, Kermit the Frog looking ass nigga. He did this. He did this with the Malcolm X movie, right? So in the Malcolm X movie, he added a character that was a part of the Nation of Islam that introduced him to the Nation of Islam, right?
hmm
Well, what really happened was it was Malcolm X's brother who was already in the nation. If you see this is why you got to do your own research. I read the book, so anybody you can go back and read the book. In the book, it says his brother, who was already in the nation, introduced him to the nation's teaching. I forgot what the character's name was. I think it was Bane or something along those lines. But
Yeah, Bangs. He was in the prison, yeah,
yes, it was Bane. That never happened.
because he was giving him nutmeg for the heroin shakes.
Right. Exactly. Yes, I remember that. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yep.
So I use that, correlation to show you that this not the first time that Spike Lee has done it. Um, but we about to go back into this because it's a lot more.
Man,
And you go ahead,
look, Lord Vale, man,
go ahead.
why do why do people love to lie? Is it the American blood just to lie?
Man, you know niggas love lies. If somebody tell me a lie, if it sound good, I might roll with the shit.
Crackers too, man. Don't just put niggas in the box.
Hey, it's safer to roll with the lie though.
It does much more damage.
A lot
No,
more.
Some people been living a lie for centuries.
all right,
Especially.
go ahead.
Nah, I ain't gonna say it. I ain't gonna say it. Come on.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
Nah,
Tell the truth.
this our podcast, bro.
I be living down south, right? And I be seeing all these big girls wear these little girl clothes, and they swear they skinny, boy. I just like, ooh, that's a lie. Your friend lying to you. But hey, I'm just saying, I ain't mean to get off topic with it, but I just saying people do love the lies, boy. Oh, you look skinny, you look good in that. No, I ain't gonna say nothing. I can't be rude. Look. I'm Malcolm King. See, half of me want to be like X. The other one want me to be like Luther, but I ain't gonna say nothing though. I'm just chilling.
Bro,
You know what I mean?
bro, it should be a crime for fat girls to wear leggings.
Oh my God, we
It
can't get
should
on
be
this
a
subject right now, man. We can't get on this
yeah,
subject right now.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah,
stop. I'm gonna stop.
yeah. We can say that for another podcast. Let's keep this going though. All right, so now here's why I say this is why the number is so big for it being incorrect. This is why I gave it an 85, right? Now, do y'all remember when he gets invited to go over to Felix? In the movie, it shows him going over to Felix's house, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, who has the fat wife.
Yeah.
And now, and it also shows them having a discussion about David Duke coming down and making the Jewish Chuck is what we're going to refer to him now, because we know who he is. Chuck trying to make him the new local organizer of the Klan. Now, this is what really, listen, hey, Bishop, listen to this, though. This
What's
gonna blow
up?
your mind right here, right? You listening?
Yeah, I'm listening.
All right, listen to this right here, right? So they didn't go over. Felix's house. They went over the local organizer's house, whose real name in the movie, his name is, I want to say his name is, where's my paper? Walter. His name is Walter Breachman. Yes.
Yeah, Walter.
Now, in the book, his real name is Ken Odell, and he's the local organizer. Now, they went over his house, right?
Okay.
Now, here's the thing that's so crazy. When the officer, Chuck, the officer undercover, portraying to be the white Ron Starr, when he goes over there, right? Guess who's at the door? Guess who greets him at the door?
This is reality you're about to state, right?
Watch this.
Who?
Ken Odell's wife greets him, and guess what race she is?
What?
She's Mexican.
What?
Her name is Anita, and she's Mexican. And because the local organizer, Ken, is from El Paso, Texas, and that's where they met at. Now, that's not even the kicker, though.
Hold on, stop.
You might ride around with that needle.
Hold on, stop. You telling me? Hold on, you telling me a Klansman was with a Mexican?
Yes.
That ain't no damn true Klansman. It's supposed to be Anglo-Saxon pussy only. The hell?
I guess he listened to some Carlos Santana one night in the club, and he fell in love with Maria. All right. Anyway, so, but yes, now that's not even look, Bishop. That's not even the kicker, though. Listen to this, player. They were having discussions on making Chuck the local organizer. Oh, let me also add this in for a side note. In the movie, it shows Felix getting mad at making Chuck the local organizer. In real life, that never happened because Felix never existed and nobody was hating on Chuck. Everybody agreed that Chuck should be the new local organizer. Now, let me continue on. In the book,
in real life they agreed.
Say it again.
In real life they did agree.
Yeah. They agreed that he should be the local organizer.
Wow.
Now, that's not even the kicker, though. Listen to this. This is what I'm trying to get to. They was having discussions about different things they want to do in the Klan as far as helping out their own, the poor whites and having some Christmas party where they feed people, give out different gifts. Now, here's the thing, though. Then the conversation went left, and they were saying, we're trying to get a group of Klansmen to down to the border and shoot at immigrants. Now here it is. He's married to a bitch named Anita, who is a Mexican listening to this conversation. So you have to think about her mindset listening to this. But what this shows you is that you have Mexicans that what this book shows you, and why they didn't put it in the movie, because I know it's gonna be the next question. Is that it's not just white folks that hate us. There's a percentage of Mexicans that don't fuck with us. Let me give you a prime example. The Mexican gangs in California gave a green light on killing black people.
Yep.
You said they what?
They gave a green light to kill black people in California.
Look. Brother, I already know how the Mexican get down. It's half and half. Because, there was Cubans down in Florida that was voting Republican against Haitians. They was hating on the Haitians. They send the Haitians back. And they punk ass need to be on the boat, too.
Ooh, that's crazy.
Exactly.
I know about the Mexican.
Okay, all right, cool. So, that right there let me know that I've been knowing about the Mexicans, but like damn, the Mexicans share that same, some of them, a percentage of them, yes, that share that same mindset as some of these white supremacy people do. That's what I'm getting at to.
Lord Bell, you see them breeding with the white man. You should have known that.
Hey,
Haven't them much. You did?
match your question though. What would your mind be? What would your mindset be if there would have been a black woman that answered it though?
Oh, oh, oh,
Oh. Self
If the
hate.
black woman answered that though, said that biscuit, what would your mindset be then?
I lynch her ass. Lynch her ass. Lynch her. That's the only lynching I would approve of. Is Coons.
That would have been a cold-blooded scene one.
Yeah. Ooh.
Had her lynched. Had her ass lynched.
All right.
Like a nigga that day.
All right. Let's move on though. So, that man crazy. So there's a scene in the movie, and if you've seen the movie, which I know y'all have, where the character Felix takes the Jew downstairs to take a lie detector test, right?
Yeah.
That never happened. And what also never happened is when the super nigga came and saved the Jew by throwing the brick through the window and had them people chase him and shoot all that shit. No, that never happened. The super nigga never came in and saved the Jew. That never happened.
Damn. That's so crazy.
So that's why I gave it an 85 of it being not, there's being incorrect because it's like,
Nah, I feel like it might be 90.
What was correct then?
what you say, Bishop?
What was actually factual then?
So what was actually factual, I'll go over it again, was that he did talk to David Duke on the phone and did trick him into believing that he was a white man.
Mm-hmm.
They did infiltrate the Klan using other officers. So that did happen. They have pictures, they have photos the other officers have photos with David Duke. So that did happen. But continuing on, because I told you this I'm gonna take it layer by layer because this is good God,
This movie is really it's an L for effort. This is sad because we got our people thinking, oh man, this is it. This is cool, man. Black folks actually infiltrated the Klansmen. You know why? I feel like this movie came up because they know that they gonna get money off a black leader, a black person infiltrating a Klansman. They knew they gonna get money like that. They trying to get money like our Black Panthers. They're like Black Panthers, all black class. Boom, it shot up. They thought they can get some money, a lot of money off this right here because a black lead. That's what they trying to do. All right, pimping us, man.
Hold on, dude. Hold on, man. Hey.
What's up? What's
So
up,
you saying that Hollywood is banking on black pride?
yes.
Bruh, think about it. That's why they trying to push the what's that dude name? 007 character?
James Bond.
James Bond. They trying to push the James Bond to be black. And they know we gonna see it. I ain't gonna lie, I have to see it, but damn, they know we gonna see that movie because there's a black man leading it.
Right.
We're gonna have to go back to making black exploitation movies.
I ain't gonna lie, Bishop. If they would have made Superman a black man, niggas was gonna go see that.
It would have been more realistic.
Yeah. You know who Mario Van Peebles is?
Who is that?
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
He's the father of black exploitation movies.
Oh yeah.
Look up the movie Sweetback. The movie The Sweetback in 71. Y'all need to go back.
All right. But moving on though. Now, y'all know how I said that wasn't just one officer, Chuck. So this is let me set the scenario up for you. So in the book, because they didn't show this in the movie, it just showed the Jew was the only one that infiltrated, and he was just like this hero, and I guess he thought he was Superman or something. So, what happened was the local organizer, whose name is Ken Dale, once again, he wanted everybody to bring in new recruits. So they Chuck and the real Ron Star Wars have already been planning to add in other people for the protection of Chuck, but also to have more surveillance of the Klan. So what they did was they used Jimmy, who was already a part of their group when they would do surveillances. He would be sitting in the car with uh, the black Ron Star Wars, the real one, and you know, basically, looking out, observing, doing the same thing that Black Star Wars was doing. So, they brought him in. He met everybody. Now here's another thing they left out. A white woman joined the Klan as well in the book. Yeah. Yes, her name was
Wait,
Carol.
hold on. Wait. I think in the movie, white women did join the Klan in the movie too. I thought I saw that.
I think what you're talking about is when they had the ceremony and they showed up.
Okay. Then I'm tripping.
Yeah, that's what you're talking about. That was their women. No,
I didn't
it
know
was
women
actually,
could be. Hold on. I didn't know women could be in a clan as a fraternity.
yeah. No. They can join. They would have their own sect.
What?
So it's basically like the Masons and the Eastern Stars.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So her name was Carol. You can look this up. In the book, and she joined the Klan because she said that she got beat up by some Black Panthers. She was a truck driver, and she wanted to take it home. You know what I mean? She wanted to, be around, I guess, her own people and have protection. You know what I mean?
You know,
So yeah,
another thing I noticed, bro.
go ahead.
They say don't say the clan, say the organization.
Mm.
I never heard it as that.
So let me explain why they did that, because they explained that in the book, right? So
Mhm.
I'm glad that because you just brought out something, because I'm about to talk for a little bit. All right, cool. So the reason why they would do that was they were trying to rebrand the Klan they was following in the book. They would say they was following Martin Luther King nonviolence approach. So the Klan was started about they was going to go into politics. They was going to infiltrate politics, their local government, and rebrand themselves. That's why they said the organization. And also, they didn't want if they did harm to any people, even though it was nonviolent, they still talked about it amongst themselves. So they was like, if don't just make sure you don't come back to us. Now this is what I wanted to bring up as well. In the movie, y'all gonna get mad at, well, I know Bishop, I think you gonna shake your head to this.
Okay.
They talked about bomb threats. They showed how the fat bitch, for lack of better words, the fat bitch, had C4, and they was gonna blow up the beautiful black woman, house,
Mhm.
and showed. Now, what was so crazy about that never happened.
Well,
What really happened though? I'm glad you asked. There was the group, the Posse Comitatus. While Ron Stallworth was observing and listening in, to their conversations, the Posse Comitatus would talk about blowing up gay bars in the town of Colorado Springs. There was one Klan member that was a part of the military, but they never found out if he really was a member. and he was at some bar saying that he would blow this stuff up because I've done this before. So there was people talking about it, right? But there never was an actual bomb threat. Then here's another thing. Let's touch back on the left. The leftists, and I'm not with either side. I think they're both full of shit. But I want to expose this side because they try to hide their hand. The leftists would talk about, they would call into TV stations and talk about blowing up David Duke if he comes to the TV station. If he shows up here. If he shows up there. Talk about beating them with bats. So the only bomb threats that they really had was from some guy that they can't find out if he was a part of the group, the KKK or not. Even Ron Thorwald couldn't even find out if that was true or not.
What?
They couldn't find. Yes.
So you telling me? Hold
out.
on, stop. You telling me the Klan didn't even plan bomb threats?
No. What I'm telling you is the other white supremacy group, the Posse Comitatus, were the ones that were doing the violent talk because they were the ones that was doing. That was the one that was violent. I did some research on them, right? Besides reading the book. In the book, though, it talks about them walking around with guns, hurting people. Now they were the ones that they wanted. So this is what happened in the book, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Posse Comitatus and KKK merged, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, Ken never liked them like that. He felt they was too radical. But he knew that their numbers would go up if they came together. So they did merge together. Now, what was so crazy though, the reason why the Posse Comitatus wanted to merge with them was because they knew that the Klan had military members that could get military weapons that they could use on people. Because they wanted to overthrow, I want to say Dominicana, from what I recall. Yeah, Dominicana. They wanted to throw over the Dominicana. Yes. So there never was any fat bitch walking around with C4, acting stupid, acting so nervous with the C4.
Making cookies and shit.
Yes. There never was any conversation with, in the bed with, the fat woman and Felix having a discussion about, killing niggas. And then here's another thing. I want y'all to chime in on this. Did it even make sense to why they would target this black woman? That was even though it's not true, but